All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. There are those that talk it and can't back it up, while there are those who talk the talk and can also walk the walk. And for Deion Sanders, he is one of those who can back up what he is talking about. Now, after a 27-6 mark in 3 years as the head football coach at Jackson State, Coach Prime brought his talents to the Rocky Mountains as he is now calling the shots at Colorado. There were those who wanted to question Colorado's hire of Sanders, but they clearly knew what they were doing. Sanders inherited a Colorado team that only won a single game last season, as they were one of the worst in college football. And as Coach Prime came to Boulder, he promised that things would be changing at Colorado as we saw them have that huge roster overhaul during the offseason as they led the world in getting players from the transfer portal. And after just one game here in 2023, the Buffaloes are not only better than what they were in 2022, but you can also make the case that they've been better or that they are better than what they've been since they won 10 games in 2016. And of course, that year also produced their only appearance in the Pac 12 championship game. Colorado took the field today in Fort Worth, Texas, as a 20.5 point underdog to a TCU squad that played for the national championship just 8 months ago. And it was clear from early on in today's contest that the Buffs are indeed a totally different team from last year. Colorado made a statement when they scored on their first drive of the game. Quarterback Shador Sanders led a 13-play, 73-yard drive that culminated with a 4-yard pass to Dylan Edwards. Then, when TCU is driving on their next possession, intercepting rather quarterback Chandler Morris in the end zone. And of course, that interception came courtesy of Trevor Woods. Colorado then getting some momentum as they took the 17-14 lead to the dressing room at the half. And then immediately coming out of the locker room in the second half with Sanders connecting with Edwards on a 75-yard touchdown pass. Colorado was able to take everything that TCU is dishing out today, as after the Horned Frogs came back to take the 28-24 advantage in the third, the Buffaloes immediately responded with a 5-play, 75-yard drive with Edwards once again scoring. Then you look at the fourth quarter, exchanging the touchdowns with TCU. And of course, TCU had all of the momentum after that big kickoff return, which set up a short field for them. They punched it in to make it 42-38, but Colorado came right back and scored. Then we saw the mental toughness as the Buffs, they could have easily packed it in after that big touchdown by TCU. They came right back and scored. You think about this Colorado team, they had to deal with the heat today in Fort Worth, the rabid fan base there, and then a good Horned Frogs team themselves. In Colorado, they didn't have the depth that TCU did today, but you know what? They made up for it with skill, determination, and execution. Have yourself a day, Shador Sanders, as this young man was 38 of 47 passing today for 510 yards with 4 passing touchdowns. And clearly, he is good enough to play at this level. Dylan Edwards, 5 catches coming out of the backfield for 135 yards, 3 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, who played both sides of the ball today, more than 100 plays. But then you look what he did offensively, 11 catches for 119 yards. Jimmy Horn Jr., 11 catches as well for a buck 17 and a TD. Now, back when Dion got this job, he told everyone that Colorado was coming. And if you ever want to doubt Coach Prime again, you know what? You're going to lose some money on it. I'll tell you that much. But you look at it, the two biggest winners from today, Colorado, obviously, because, them getting a win in their first game of the season, obviously, is a huge shot in the arm for them. They got to have a ton of confidence after this contest. And also the Big 12, because this is going to be a conference game for them next season. And of course, you know, Dion brings the same swagger with him as a head coach that he did as a player in both Major League Baseball and the National Football League. And he is definitely must see TV. And wherever he coaches, it's going to be must see TV. And for Colorado, guess what? Their schedule just opened up because we're looking at a Buffs team that has already matched their win total from last season. Now they're going to be hosting a Nebraska squad next Saturday that, like them, had a very horrific 2022 campaign. They're looking to get back on track. They're looking to reclaim some of that luster that they had from their glory days, and they're starting over with a new head coach in Matt Rule. I guarantee you, the folks in Boulder are going to come out for this game and really show support as Colorado has a legit chance to go 2-0. They host Colorado State in the following week before the Pac-12 slate of games begin. And if you're looking at Colorado, this is a team that, you know what, they might not just be fighting to get bowl eligible this year. This is a team that looks like they're going to be making some noise in their way out in the Pac-12 conference. So, you know what? Dion is backing up what he talked about from his first day on the gig in Boulder. How far can this Colorado team go? You know what? The sky is a limit because you got a team. I know it's a lot of different players from last year, but they're still playing with house money because the expectations were so low and they have talent. Shador Sanders can play. The bottom line is, and it's like if you just thought that this was an aberration for him playing at Jackson State, guess what? Dion brought talent to Jackson State. He brought some of that talent with him, player wise, to Colorado, and this guy can recruit. And I guarantee you, anybody who Colorado has on their radar, and they just watched this game this afternoon, guess what? They're going to be thinking about coming to Boulder next year as well. I know it's one game. I know it's not a reach. I know that some people are going to say, well, let's pump the brakes on it. But Colorado looks different. They got a swagger about them, and they have that swagger from their head coach and Coach Prime. The Buffs are looking good. Coach Sanders has them looking good, and let's see how far the Buffaloes can ride this momentum here in 2023. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.